Oh boy. This is going to be a bit of a stain on the otherwise blemish-free history of Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. So, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night was a Kickstarter project which was successfully kickstarted back in 2015. It raised $5.5 million, and it was going to be coming out on the, by the way, it is a spiritual successor to the Castlevania game, specifically Symphony of the Night.
Hence the name.
Ritual
of the Night.
Ritual of the Night. There you go. It was going to come out for Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, Vita, PC, Mac, and Linux. Linux? Really? There's not a whole lot of games on Linux.
What's a Linux?
It's another operating system. It's for like it's not user friendly. Let's just say it's for very high end users. And the Wii U version has been swapped out in favor of a Nintendo Switch version. That does make sense because no one wants to play it on the Wii U. Okay, no. So good call there. What might be a bad call though is Koji Igarashi has stated that they are going to cancel the PlayStation Vita version of the game. And before we get into everything, here's the reasons he gives. This decision is largely due to Sony's plans to discontinue the Vita console, ending production of physical copies and stopping certain online store support features. It is extremely unfortunate, but as a result, we won't be releasing the game on Vita. Now, he's talking about that they are, as of March 2019, they are going to no longer create physical game cards for Vita games.
They're not going to discontinue the Vita though, making it.
They haven't announced that they're going to do that, and I don't think that they are because at least in Japan, it's still kind of selling. So as long as it's selling enough, I don't think they're going to just outright discontinue it. It's kind of another reason why it's strange though. Is the one of the stretch goals, and I don't know if you're too familiar with crowdfunding, but on Kickstarter there's something called a stretch goal, where if you hit it, basically they'll say if we hit this goal, we'll make the game, but if we get more money, we'll add more features or we'll do more things. One of the stretch goals was they were going to make a prequel game that's styled after an NES Castlevania game. And I believe that it was Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. Oh. That actually came out this summer, a few weeks ago. And it was released on all of these platforms, including the Vita.
Oh.
And it looks like that is the only Bloodstained version.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's the only Bloodstained game that the Vita is going to get. And it's just a prequel. It's less here's a taste of it.
Right.
Before you actually play the main game.
But you can't actually get it anymore on the Vita, so.
Right. And here's my question. What if you kickstarted this expecting a Vita version of the game and you wanted to play it on the PlayStation Vita?
Did they promise that at the beginning, though? I
mean, no, there's no such thing as a promise when it comes to kickstarting.
Right.
But the project was successful. And the reasons that he's giving were just they're going to end production of the Vita. No, they're not. I mean, eventually, sure, but no, they're not. And they're going to be... and also, by the way, in addition to this, he did say that the game was going to be delayed until 2019. But that still is enough time to get the game out on physical copy. And even if you can't get a physical copy of it on the Vita... release it on the store for download.
Yeah.
You can still download PSP games off of the PlayStation Store on PSP, I believe. I want to say you can. So it's just kind of...
Yeah.
That's weird that he would basically blame it on something that discontinuing the Vita, not going to happen.
Right.
And then they're going to discontinue the physical game cards. Well, that's not going to happen until March. And even if you're not going to make that in time, there's digital. So it's really strange that they're going this route, and I just it kind of seems to me that they are doing this to save time and resources.
Yeah, probably. I guess they just don't see that it's like worth their trouble to like make it anymore for the Vita. I mean, because
here's the thing: the Vita was in trouble back in 2015.
Yeah.
Anyway, like the state of the Vita really hasn't decayed,
it's not something new.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better since 2015. So why do this now?
Yeah.
It just seems like, well, they're tied up doing all of... They always shoot for the moon, too. They were just like, oh, it's going to be on every single thing. Linux? Really?
Yeah.
I'm still hung up over that.
Linux and not the Vita, yeah.
Yeah, Linux, but not Vita.
It's weird.
Oh, okay. Why don't you shoot for Android and iOS while you're at it?
Yeah.
It's strange. And so, yeah, all you fans out there that kickstarted this, like, I'm sorry, I would ask for my money back, or I would state, you need to change my reservation to another system that I have, because the only system that's going to be able to play this portably now is going to be the Switch.
Yeah.
So hopefully you have a Switch, and they'll change it for you. Otherwise, you're out of luck.
Yeah.